if you have a 9 to 5 and you're thinking about starting something on the side, but you keep putting it off because you don't think you have enough time or enough money or the right idea, then this video is for you, because I'm going to show you how to start a business fast without quitting your job and without spending years planning and needing to figure everything out before you begin. Because your 9 to 5 is not a limitation. It is your safety net, and it's actually the perfect time to start your own thing. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So let's dive in straight away. So when wanting to start a business, the first thing that people get stuck on is the idea. They think that they need this groundbreaking, unique, never been done before concept, and they spend months or even years waiting for that perfect idea to hit. The thing is that your first business is not about being unique. It is about being useful. So stop waiting for inspiration to strike. Instead, what you need to do is start with problems that already exist that you could offer a solution for. So here are things to look at. What do people already pay for? What are people complaining about? And what do you already know how to do? Or what could you learn to do fast? Those are your starting points. And I'm going to give you 3 concrete directions that you can explore. The first thing is skills that you already have or can learn quickly. So think about what you know how to do that other people struggle with. Maybe you're good at organizing systems. Maybe you know how to edit a video. Maybe you understand how to run ads or manage social media. If people are already paying other people to do that thing, you can offer it too, even if there's a lot of competition, because think about it, there's a billion restaurants all over the world. That doesn't mean that you cannot open a new restaurant. So the notion of there's already other people doing this doesn't make sense. Other people can do this. You can have your own special sauce and do it too. The second direction is problems that you've personally solved. So think about something that you figured out in your own life that other people are struggling with as well. Maybe you figured out how to meal prep efficiently. Maybe you learned how to budget and pay off debt. Maybe you've built a system for staying productive while working from home. If you solved it for yourself, you can teach other people how to solve it too. The third direction is services that are already proven. So again, don't try to reinvent the wheel. Look at what's already working. What are people already buying? Examples of this would be virtual assistant services, freelance writing, social media management, bookkeeping, manicures at home. These are not new ideas, but they work and there's room for you. And the key is to not overcomplicate this. Just pick something that people are already paying for and test it. Remember that your business does not need to be your forever idea. You can always pivot later on, but for now, what's important is for you to start. So just pick an idea and allow yourself to build that entrepreneurial muscle. All right, now you have an idea. The next mistake people make is spending months setting everything up before they launch. They want the perfect website. They want the perfect logo. They want the perfect branding. And I'm telling you right now that all of that is a waste of time, because your goal is not to build a business yet. Your goal is to test if people will pay. So here's what you actually need to do to get started. You need 2 things only: a simple landing page, and a landing page is basically a 1-pager about your product or your service. You don't need a whole website. You shouldn't be spending weeks on creating this. Instead, you should use something that has ready-to-go templates that you can use so that you can create your landing page fast. Think of software like Card, StanStore, Lead Pages, or Shopify. These are all easy to get started with and fast to set up. So just do a little bit of research and testing to see what you like best. Then the second thing that you need is a way to accept payments. So PayPal, Stripe, StanStore, again, Shopify, these are all options. And that's it. What you don't need is a logo. You don't need branding. You don't need a perfect website. You don't need a business plan. None of that matters until you know that people will actually pay you for what you're offering. And to illustrate exactly what I mean, I want to tell you a story about my own experience, because my first business was an online store for curly hair products. Yes, I do have curly hair. I just styled it today. So I had this vision that I needed to be this one-stop shop where all types of curly hair products could be bought, and that the website should also contain an academy with lots of articles about natural hair care so that people could really learn how to take care of their curls. And I had this whole vision, and I spent 2 years building that. So the website, the inventory, the logo, the shipping even. I spent so much time trying to figure out what the cheapest shipping would be. All of those things before I ever went live. And after I launched, I discovered that I hated it. I hated the business model. I hated the type of marketing I had to do for it. I didn't like that I was selling other people's products. So I shut it down after 3 months. 2 years of work gone. And that's the biggest mistake. As an entrepreneur, you have to test fast and you need to make things better later. So please do not spend 2 years building something that no one has ever paid for yet. Another mistake that I made is not using templates, because I remember checking Shopify, which is a software that a lot of people use to run their online shops on, and I saw that it costs like $30 a month and that I had to pay a percentage transaction fee every time someone bought something from me. And I was like, nope, I need to make my own website so that I can keep my entire profit and not waste money on fees and share it with Shopify. And that alone is the most stupid mistake I've ever made in my entirety of being in business, because I spent 2 years building a custom website to save that money. If I had just used Shopify, paid the transaction fees, and launched in 2 weeks instead, I could have been making sales and learning what actually worked, and I would have found out a lot earlier that this business model wasn't for me. Instead, what I was doing was optimizing for saving money on a business that didn't even exist yet. So don't do this. The fees are not the problem. Not having customers is the problem. So please use ready-to-go templates for all that you are going to do. Add text to them. That's the only thing you need to do. Don't work on the colors or branding, and don't spend days working on a logo. You first need a business, and once you have customers, you can start working on making those things better and feel more you. The formula that you want to follow is launch messy, get feedback, and improve as you go. Okay, so let's talk about the stage after you've launched. You have your offer. Now you need for people to actually find you and buy from you. And you need 2 things for that: messaging that resonates and traffic to your offer. You have limited time because you're still in your 9 to 5 and you probably also have limited money. So you need to be smart about this. And the first thing that we're going to talk to is messaging. Messaging means knowing your ideal client inside and out. How do they talk? What words do they actually use? What problems are they dealing with every day? Because if you don't know these things, you will end up talking in a way that makes sense to you but doesn't land with them. So let me give you an example. Let's say you're a fitness coach. Bad messaging would be, I help clients optimize their metabolic function through evidence-based protocols. That might sound fancy to you, but your client has no idea what you do. Good messaging would be, I help busy moms lose weight without spending hours in the gym. Do you see the difference? The first one sounds professional, but nobody talks like that. Nobody wakes up thinking, I really need to optimize my metabolic function today. The second one, however, speaks to a real problem in words that people actually use. So that's what you need to be able to do. You need to be able to clearly explain what you do, who it's for, and what results they get. And you need to be able to say it in their language and not in yours. So if people don't understand what you're offering in 5 seconds, they will not buy it. So I want you to practice this. And when you're building your landing page or writing any type of copy for your offer, make sure that that's the language that you're using, your ideal client's language. Now, the second thing that you need is traffic, because no eyeballs means no business. You can have great messaging, but if no one sees your messaging, you will still have no customers. So you need people to actually see your offer. And that's what traffic means. It's a marketing term for the amount of eyes that you get to your landing page or social media, basically how many people are seeing that your offer exists. And there's 2 ways to reach those people, either organic marketing or paid marketing. So organic is through platforms like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. You create content, you build an audience, and you drive people to your offer. This is something that it takes time and it has a learning curve, but it is completely free to do. So if you want to start with organic marketing, I would recommend you to pick one platform and not try to be everywhere at once. So try to find out what platform your target audience is present on most. If you have a younger audience for your business, then you might want to try TikTok. If it's mostly business to business that you're offering, then you want to be on LinkedIn. If you offer services to online business owners, most of them hang out on Instagram. And then you want to create content around the problem that you solve. So if you're a virtual assistant, make content about productivity hacks, how to manage your inbox, tools that save time. If you're a fitness coach, make content about quick workouts, meal prep tips, common fitness mistakes. The goal is to attract people who have the problem that you solve. And before you start posting, I need you to spend some time learning what type of content actually works, because I see so many business owners make this mistake of they just start to post content, but the content is not not at all what the algorithm would push out, or it's very slow, or it's just not interesting to watch, and so it still doesn't get pushed out to people. There are so many free YouTube videos that break down how to make good content for any platform that you want to post on, so please spend some time researching first. Look up the tutorials, look up what makes good content, and then also become a observer. You need to pay attention to what comes up on your own Explore page, what hooks grab your attention, what makes you want to watch till the end, and what makes you want to comment or share. If you're trying to build the business, don't be the person who refuses to consume content because they think they're above it, or they think it's not good for them to be on social media. Obviously, I don't want you to scroll social media for the entire day, but you can commit 10 minutes a day to scrolling to see what's working out there, because you kind of have to consume to make good content yourself. So use the time that you have to work on your business to create and post content consistently, 3 to 5 times a week if you can, and the more the better. That's how it works on social media. But you are still in your 9 to 5, and we also need you to not burn out. Do not expect results overnight, because building an audience on social media, it takes a few months to build momentum. Moving on to paid content, which basically means running ads and spending money on getting your offer in front of people. This is a lot faster, but it costs money, and you need to learn what to do. I wouldn't necessarily recommend starting here unless you have a budget and you're willing to actually learn how ads work. If you do want to go this route, I would really recommend you to get a mentor or take a course from someone who has had good results themselves. So don't just try to Google and figure it out, because advertising actually requires a lot of testing and requires you understanding what you need to adjust and what you need to try out next. You will burn through money on bad ads fast if you have no idea what you're doing. So focusing on either organic or paid marketing to get traffic to your offer is more important than anything else that you will do for your business, because a bad offer with good marketing will still make sales, but a good offer with no traffic and no marketing will make nothing. You need to invest time or money into getting eyes on your offer. Now, if you have more time than money, go organic. If you have more money than time, consider ads. I actually have created a free business roadmap guide that breaks down exactly how to do both of these things. So how to get traffic, how to create content that actually converts, and how to build an audience from scratch. It's a free download, and I will link it below. Now, another one of the big mistakes that I see people make is trying to figure everything out by themselves. They spend months Googling, watching random YouTube videos, trying to piece it all together. And for a lot of things, yes, you can learn that for free, but it's slow and it's messy. So what I would recommend you to do instead is, while you still have your 9 to 5, you have safety, you have income, take a small amount of that money each month and invest it in learning skills. Learn marketing, learn how to create content, learn how to sell, learn how to get traffic. These are the skills that will make you money. So I would recommend to get a mentor, buy a course from someone who is actually doing it, hire a coach who can show you the ropes, join a program that teaches you what you need to know instead of trying to piece it all together yourself. And I know that programs and coaches get a bad rep, and that is because there's a lot of bad ones out there and a lot of unnecessarily expensive ones out there, but not all of them are the case. For me, I would not have had the business that I have if it wasn't for mentors, if it wasn't for buying courses. I was a serial course buyer, and I'm not saying you should do that, because that was also not the right way to go, but there are so many good marketing coaches that offer cheap products that will get you to the point that you want to go to a lot faster, and not all of them are bad. A lot of them are super good, and I learned so much from the ones that I have taken lessons from. So look into that and don't try to reinvent the wheel. Learn from people who have already done it. That's how you move faster. Now let's talk about time, because this is one of the biggest objections people have. They say, I can't start a business because I work full time. I don't have enough time to do it. The reality is that you're not going to have hours every single day to work on your business, but that's fine. You don't need hours every day. You need a plan. So ideally, you block out how much time per week you have to spend on it. Actually block in that time in your agenda. Treat it like an appointment. Even if it's just 2 hours a week, I would say that should be your minimum though, because if this is something that you want to do, you can also not expect to only spend 10 minutes on it per week and get there. So minimum 2 hours, and block it out in your agenda. preferably more, of course. I have built this simple 3-month structure for you that actually works when you have a full-time job. So month 1, you're going to set up your foundation. This is where you finalize your idea, create a simple landing page, and set up a way to accept payments. That's all you're doing this month. You're not building a whole business. You're setting up the basics so that people can buy from you. Then in month 2, I need you to learn about traffic. First, you're going to decide whether you're going to go organic or paid to start with, and then you're going to spend this month learning how either content or paid ads work on the platform of your choice. So watch YouTube videos, take a course, study what's already working, and write down ideas for content or ads as you go, because ads are also content, they're just paid. You don't need to start posting or running anything yet. We just want you to learn and start writing down ideas. Then in month 3, you want to start creating. So this is where you start posting content or running ads. You want to test what works and adjust as you go. And again, this doesn't require hours every day. All you need is focused blocks of time. So maybe that's 2 hours on a Saturday morning. Maybe it's an hour on Tuesday and Thursday evenings. But remember that you don't build a business in your free time, you build it in your focus time. All right, before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one mindset shift. Your 9 to 5 is not your limitation. It is your safety net. I've said that before. It's what allows you to pay your bills while you are figuring this out and building something for yourself. Your 9 to 5 will give you the freedom to test ideas without the pressure of needing them to work immediately. That is a very big blessing to have as a business owner. So don't resent it. Use it strategically. And once your business is making consistent income, once you've proven that it works, then you can think about transitioning. But until then, your job is what's supporting you, not what's holding you back. If you want to learn more about the strategy side of all of this, so how to get traffic, how to create an offer that sells, and how to actually turn this into income, I have the free business roadmap that I mentioned before that walks you through all of those steps, and it's linked in the description. And if this video helps you in any way, make sure to subscribe, because I'm going to keep making content that helps you build the life, business, or freedom that you actually want.